Okay, so we finished the band assignment procedure. We have our bands assigned here. And now we're ready to sit back and have SAFA do all the work and actually quantify all this data. So to quantify the data, I'm simply going to click on quantify. And then SAFA is going to ask me how many bands I want to fit. It's going to tell me here that I can fit at most 67. That's how many bands I selected. And I'm just going to go ahead and fit all 67. If I had picked more and wanted to fit less, I could do that here by changing this number, by making it smaller. But I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And what SAFA has done at this stage is that it's fit lane 1. You can see it's fit lane 1. You see 3 different plots here. The first plot is really what I call the peak model. In other words, each of these red peaks here is an individual Lorentzian that's doing a deconvolution of the signal. The experimental profile is shown in blue, and the fit of, in other words, the sum of these Lorentzians is shown in green. Below, in this particular region, you have the 2 different models that SAFA is using. All you want to check here is that the blue and the black lines are overlapping, which they are. And down here, you have another fit of the data showing you the experimental profile versus the fit, and you can see that these are excellent. So then, you can ask SAFA to fit lane 2. If you click no here, it's asking you if you want to fit all the data at once. No, I only want to click lane by lane. You say no. Now it's going to fit lane 2, and lane 2, if you remember over here, is T1 digest, and you can see that there are several strong peaks, but most of the peaks are weak. You can again see that the overall fit is quite good, and so forth. And now we can go lane 3, which is fit again, and so forth. So basically, I could keep clicking no to see each individual fit, but at this point, let's just let SAFA assign and fit all the data. So I say yes. And so now SAFA is just going to run through each and every lane. You can see lane 5, lane 6, and so forth. And in each case, it's showing you a plot of the data. You don't really have to look at each one individually as SAFA is fitting the data. You'll be able to revisualize this data later, but right now you can just sort of see it working through the different aspects. If you're running this on a Windows computer, you won't actually see as much animation in the fit as you do on the Mac. That's just because there's a bug between on the Windows version. So once I'm finished fitting the data, I can save a copy. So I go ahead and say yes, and I'm just going to go ahead and call this data.txt that we're now going to open up in Excel, for example, to take a look at it. So I'm going to save yes. Oh, I had saved a copy of this before. I'm going to overwrite it. And then here, SAFA will actually go out after you're finished doing all the fitting. It'll refit all of the plots so that you can visualize them. Left-clicking will just go, you see this, that was lane 1 through 5, this is lane 6 through 10, and so forth. Basically here, you just want to make sure that there's not aberrant, really wide peaks or something, but you can see that in general, the fits are quite good. All the way to lane 20, which was our last lane. So now, I'm going to open up Excel, and in Excel, I'm going to go ahead and open up the data and just show you what has been output by SAFA at this point. So here you can see in SAFA data where we saved it, data.txt. I'm going to go ahead and open this. I can select here delimited because it's a text file. So if I click next, you can see all the columns are found. If I click next, I can say go ahead and finish it. And now I get an Excel spreadsheet of just a bunch of numbers, but that's exactly what I wanted. Where in this is the first column, the A column, and in the A column we have the peak assignments. So in other words, this is peak 134, peak 135, peak 136, and so forth, all the way down to, there should be 67 of these, because that's how many we fit. And sure enough, it goes down to 67. And then each of these columns represents different lanes. So the first lane was a T1 digest. So this is lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, and so forth, all the way out to lane 20. So this is the raw data, and you definitely want to save this. And if you want to make plots of data, this is a good place to start. However, in the next section, I'll also show you how you can normalize this data in SAFA right away.